refreshing.
Yes.
Well, I want to kind of talk a little bit about open doors today. When you walk with the Lord, and those of you who have a developing relationship with the Lord, who to the best of your ability trying to do the right thing, you know from experience, talking about persons of faith. I don't mean perfect people. I'm talking about people of faith. You know, when you're walking and leaning and depending on the Lord, doors can appear, doors can open up in some of the strangest situations, at some of the strangest times. My wife and I were, the other night, after she had gotten the children to bed, I was kind of watching TV a little bit. She got in and, she's been talking a little bit about maybe needing some more different kind of space for, our children and that kind of thing. I didn't feel that too much, but at the same time, I grew up in I didn't grow up with the era. I grew up with the era. I didn't grow up in an era. I grew up with the era where, basically most of the people we knew kind of grew up, lived in the same house, and they kind of, they still stayed there all their lives. And so I'm not quite like that, but I found something, bought it, what I liked 15 years ago. But at any rate, Sean won't like this, but I had to check my wife to tell me, to get better to what we're going to do, we just need to, get the app and let's just monitor our credit and stuff where we can, that kind of thing. And I was like, I've been nodding to that for a long time. I hadn't done it yet. I've been nodding to that for a long time, just to keep the conversation going. But this particular night when she got in, she said, we need to do it now. And I was like, 11 o'clock at night, I don't want to, so she said, give me your phone. So she gave her the phone, and I was kind of watching ESPN or something, just kind of half dozing, watching something. So she's, lights off, and she's got the phone on, kind of going on and on. So I'm kind of sitting there while she's doing that, kind of halfway paying attention, halfway not. And so after about 15 minutes, and Sean, you have to slap my hand on this, but I hadn't checked my stuff in probably about 5 or 6 years at least. I wasn't buying anything. I had nothing came across the bank or nothing like that. Nobody impersonated me or nothing like that. But she pulled it up, and I could see the numbers on the phone. It had two big numbers from TransUnion and whatever. I was kind of looked over there halfway. I had my glasses on, so I couldn't hardly see. But I saw the numbers. I said, well, whose credit is that? She said, yours, you idiot. I said, let's get up here and refinance this house right now. Well, point being, I had no idea, number one. Not knowing, number two. But the more I thought about it, I'd just been grinding, paying on time, doing. I wasn't thinking about it, but I'd been doing things. So it wasn't where it was 6 years ago, I can tell you that. But I had no idea. And my point is that suddenly a door opened up. And what I want to share with you today is that one of the things you experience when you're walking with the Lord is that doors open up in pressure situations. Doors that there is, and I can in Matthew 10, what I'm going to do is take about 3 or 4 scriptures, and that's I'm going to just talk to you a little bit. 3 or 4 scriptures, still going to be 15 minutes. But we want 3 or 4 scriptures, and I want you to just follow me a little bit and feel what I'm saying. And we're going to end with a wonderful story. All right? It says, 10:19 says, when they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say. For what you are to say will be what? Will be given to you in that moment. And so it's this sense of that no matter what circumstance I'm in, no matter what kind of situation I'm in, is that God has an opening. There's a door. There's something that leads from one dimension to the other. And doors in the New Testament specifically, doors in the Bible in general, but doors in the New Testament metaphorically signify opportunity. And Jesus said, "I am the door." So when we're talking about today an open door, what we are suggesting is that in every situation that you find yourself in, there is a door that leads from one thing to the next, from one dimension to the next, that you discover. Abraham was going to sacrifice his son, and the son said to the daddy, "I see the fire, I see the knife." He's seen sacrifices before. "I've seen the fire, I see the knife, but where is the sacrifice? Where are we going to get the lamb for the sacrifice?" He said, "The Lord will provide." Didn't he say that? The Lord will provide the lamb for the sacrifice. Well, they got there, didn't see no lamb. You won't see the opening when you get there. You won't see the opening at the beginning. But the Bible says when he engaged, when he took the knife to slay his son, a voice from heaven said, "Abraham, Abraham." He said, "Here I am, Lord. Here I am, Lord. Here I am." He said, "Don't bother the son. Do not take the knife and slay your son. For now I know that you fear God." And suddenly he heard a rustling over in the bushes, and he turned and looked, and what was over there? A ram was in the bush. You won't see your ram in the bush when you go in the bush. You won't see it until the door won't open. I'm talking about how God is now. Trying to get a feeling for how God is. What it feels like to have an open door. He got inside there. He engaged. He was going to commit the terrible act. And then suddenly he pulled back, and God had another way through. And every time it looks like there's no way through. I'll read you. Now I'm just going to this is something I discovered. I mean, I should have, I've known it, but it's something I discovered. Just the Lord just reminded me of it. 1 Corinthians 10:13, I think it is. Just feel it. I want you to feel it, right? It says, no testing or no temptation has overcome you or overtaken you that's not common to everybody. I don't want you going around, "I'm just tempted to do." And listen, nobody, you just like everybody else. No testing or temptation has overtaken you that is not common to everyone. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tested or tempted beyond your strength. But with the testing, will also provide what? My dough here now. What that dough look like, what it sounds like, what color it is, what dimensions it is, where it's placed, whether it's up, down, below. The promise is that when it gets more than you can bear, when it gets more than you can handle, God provides way of escape. It just appears. It just manifest itself. It was, going in, you didn't see it. And then somehow, in the midst of what you're going through, if you keep leaning on the Lord, we're talking about faith now, a way comes out, a way comes through. But I can tell you about them ways coming through. In Genesis 19, the Lord provided a way out for his people. 19:15, it says that it says, when morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, get up, take your wife and your daughters who are here, or else they will be consumed in the punishment of the city. But they lingered. They lingered. They lingered. And the Lord and the angels took them by the hand, seized them, him and his wife and 2 daughters by the hand, the Lord being merciful to them. And they brought them out of the city, outside of the city. When they brought them outside, they said, flee for your life. Don't look back or stop anywhere in the plain. Don't look back. In other words, there are some circumstances and situations where the Lord has indeed provided you a way of escape, but you won't take it. You're hanging around something the Lord don't want you to hang around with. You're tied up in something the Lord don't want you tied up in. And in this case, the angels came, and I can tell you when you at least trying to live right, you know when something says in your spirit, it's time to go. It's time to go. If something pressing on you, it's time to go. But the Bible says they lingered, and that was one of the challenges with life. They had gotten so comfortable where they were. They had gotten so used to where they were. Where they were served a particular function. It may not have been always good, but it served a particular function in their life, and they got used to. They got used to Sodom and Gomorrah. But God wanted them to move, and the door opened. But one of the things that happens with us is that when that door opens, sometimes we linger because where we are, I mean, it is what it is. Where we are, we have become accustomed to. Where we are, we have become perhaps addicted to. I'm just saying that there is no such thing as no way out when it comes to God's people. And you know it in your life, that all of a sudden, suddenly something appears, suddenly someone gives you a call, suddenly someone stops by, suddenly something is there that wasn't there before, and all of a sudden you can see an angle and a way through that wasn't there before. Wasn't there before. I mean, you think about all the stories. You think about the 3 Hebrew boys, and they said, the king said to them, I'm gonna give you one more chance to stand up and salute when I say salute. And they said, no, we're not going to do what you want to do, king. The God we serve is able to deliver us, but even if he doesn't, see, sometimes you got to have an even if he doesn't faith. Even if he doesn't, I'm not going to bow down to your image. And so what did they do? They took the three Hebrew boys, 3 faithful boys, they took them, threw them in the fiery furnace. A few moments later, the king said, hey, didn't I put 3 in there, but I see 4. But that's not what I want to show. What I want to see is not what the king saw. You see, when they got thrown in there, they thought that was it. But when they got thrown in there, the king said, didn't I put 3 in there bound? But I see 4 in there unbound, walking around, and they not hurt. Right? Now here's the testimony here. It's not what the king saw. It's the fact that when they got thrown in there, they recognized that they weren't in it by themselves. They saw Jesus in the fire before anybody else saw him in the fire. and discovering Jesus said, welcome, come on in, everything's going to be all right. They thinking you burnt up. They thinking this going to do you in. They thinking that we've hurt you. They thinking that you'll never come back. But let me untie you. Let me set you free. Let me open the door for you. Listen, you're going to get a promotion out of this. This man tried to kill you. This man tried to destroy you. But on the other side of this, you're going to get promoted. You just stay here next to me. And sometimes you just got to stay in there with the Lord and know that the Lord will make a way out of you. That's the story. That's what the Bible trying to tell us. You go back and read Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When they came out of there, that old wicked king said, because we ain't going to worship nobody else but that God. Because no other God can do it that way. No other God can save that way. Then he said, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, promoted. The same one that put him in there, promoted him. It's a door in this thing, man. You can't, just don't get discouraged. It's a door in it. There's a door in it. There's an opening in it that moves from one dimension to the next. So while you in it, just sometimes you got to open the door. Open the door. Open the door for the next dimension. Open the door. If that's burnt up, if that's gone, and I'm in this one, don't leave me in here by myself.
That's all right.
What's next? I know this ain't it. You think of me, all the story. You think about it. You can look at the Daniel and the lion. They threw him in there. They threw him in a pit with lions, live lions. Threw him in there. He said the old king went back and prayed all night long. Wouldn't eat, all that kind of stuff. And it's his fault that it was in there. Woke up the next morning, old king come to where he was. Oh, Daniel, was the God that you serve, was he able to deliver you from the mouths of the lion? Heard the voice say, oh, king, live forever. My God. Sent the angel. And he closed the lion's mouth. Now see, that's the next morning. I ain't talking about the next morning. Let's go back a few hours earlier when they put him in there. And there wasn't nobody around but Daniel in the lion's den. And then all of a sudden something shows up. What did he see? What did that door look like? What did deliverance look like? That's the way God works in your life. He works in a way that others may not be able to see, but when he shows up in your life, you know that you know. That's the Lord. That's the Lord. Has he ever done it for you? Has he ever made a way for you? Has he ever brought you out of it? Has he ever brought you through it? That's the God I'm talking about. Has he ever opened doors for you? He's a door opener. You gotta get in it. You gotta be engaged. You got the door. It ain't gonna open before you get in it. It ain't gonna open before you get in it. We sitting back there saying, Lord, do this, but we don't want to go in it. We don't want to go in it. We want to see the door open before we get in it. But it all won't happen till you get in it. Till you've committed to it. Till you've given it over. An open door. God provides. Jesus said, I am the gate. So what you discover when you're going through is that the relationship with God is what matters. And as long as I got that, whatever else happens after that is incidental. But you discover something that you didn't discover before. A door opens, man. It It is the secret weapon. The mystery of the gospel, the secret weapon is that. Is that it works for all of us. It works for everybody who has faith.
Yes, sir.
It's the game changer. All right, let's close with this story. This is just our walk through the museum. And if you let me give me a few minutes, let me read it short to you. All right, we're gonna do this in about a few minutes. All right, y'all still with me? You still with me? Okay. All right. So I just want you to see this, and as we see it, I want you to just see how God works. All right, just you can see it for yourself. Just take you to that part and just look at it. So, Ruth is the name of this book, and it gives us a little background. So we're gonna do just a little bit of just hanging there with me. We're gonna show you something that blow your mind. All right. It says, in the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine. Listen, I'm about to end the sermon. I'm not just starting the sermon for y'all. Some of us, man, he's just getting to the scripture. This is the closing. This is the closing now. I know y'all. I've been around you a long time. All right. So, but I just, it's a beautiful thing. I want you to catch this. Catch this. Especially my skeptical ones. I want you to catch this. Let's watch. It says, in the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. A certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to live in the country of Moab. William, you got some of that for me, don't you? We live in the country of Moab. We're going to show you some of that a little bit. But live in Moab because there was a famine in Bethlehem, right? So the name of the man was Elimelech. His wife's name was Naomi. They had two boys, Mahlon and Chilion, all right? So Elimelech is the daddy. Naomi, you've heard that name perhaps, is the wife. And they got two boys. So they go to Moab. All right, verse 3, but Elimelech, the husband of Naomi, died. So now she's a widow. And she was left with her two sons. These two sons married Moabite wives, all right? So the name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth, right? All right? So when they had lived in the land about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion, the two boys, died, so that the women were left without two sons and without their husbands, all right? So Naomi and her husband go over there with two kids, two boys. The husband dies. She's a widow, experienced that loss in a foreign country, so forth. And then the two boys marry off to Moabite girls. One of them's name is Ruth, the other is Orpah. And then 10 years later, they die. Now, what's left is the three women. Ruth, Naomi, and Orpah. All of them have experienced loss. All of them have stood at the grave and watched them lower their loved one down. Have you ever been there? Ever had somebody lower? Have you ever looked over in there? Felt the grief? Sorrow and the loss. And the speechlessness of it all. They did in the middle of the desert. So word came over there that the famine that had been going on for about 15 years or so, because they'd been over there 10 years or more, was over. That God was feeding his people, the Bible says in the next few verses. And so Oprah and Naomi and Ruth, they kind of started making their way kind of back towards Bethlehem. And then Naomi, the mother-in-law, says, I appreciate everything y'all have done for me. In my loss, my loved ones. Say, but you gotta go back home. You gotta go back home. And she spends a number of verses sharing with them that, even if I got a husband and we had kids and all that, what you gonna wait around? There's no future prospects for you. All right. There's nothing, I don't want to drag you to my country. Go back home to your parents, and I just pray that you'll find security, it says in the 9th verse. The Lord grants you to find security, each of you in the house of your husband. May the Lord grant you a husband. to assuage everything you've gone through. Because you know, the security of matrimony and a home and a family, may the Lord give you that. Because I don't see it happening this way. And sometimes you get to a point in your life where you just can't see something happening. You think. And so, to make a long story short, Oprah kind of says, you know, it's a long way. Did we get any images of that? Did we get any? So I want you to kind of see a little bit about what they had to do. We're going to kind of close out here. So here's Moab here. Here's the Dead Sea. It's down at the bottom of it. This literally the Dead Sea. Look it up for yourself. The Dead Sea. I've been there, man. You remember I sent them pictures back. You can't sink in it. You just float on. You just dive in and just float. So the mineral resource. So you can just lay out there like that. You can't go under. All right. You see, and so this is the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is located at the lowest point on earth. The lowest point on the face of the earth is right here, the Dead Sea. The lowest point on the face of the earth. They are at the lowest point on the face of the earth. They can't get no lower. The story is set in a setting where by its very geography, you can't get no lower. The geography is an indicator of what's happening in their life. Man, we can't get no lower than this. There is nothing lower than where we are now. Sometimes you get in your life, you know, and sometimes in your own life, say, man, he can't get no lower than this. What we dealing with? So, it's all uphill. They had to go 4,000 square feet up to Bethlehem. They had to go up and come around. All right? I wish I could show you some of the terrain. It's just kind of where they were at. This is what it looks like. This is 2 women or 3 women out here in this here. How would you make it? They had to climb. So they're out there, but she said, there's no prospects. There's no. Have you ever? There's no hope. There's no. I want to hope for something, but there's no. I just can't see it. I can't conceptualize it. All right. And then Ruth says to her, don't press me to leave you. And every women's ministry, probably in every church, don't press me to leave you or turn back from following you. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people should be my people. Your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die. There I will be buried. May the Lord do this and so to me more as well, even if death parts from me and you. In other words, even death can't separate us. All right? So at the time, she wasn't worried about her husband. All right. That wasn't her main, that wasn't her number one motivation. I suspect that shouldn't be ours, trying to find the right mate. That shouldn't be the number one. It comes as a result of other things. I assume. I was out there 7 years, I do, that's what I'm saying. So I ain't telling you what somebody, I'm just telling you. So here we have, because the book is named Ruth, right? It's named Ruth for a reason. Ruth sees the same circumstance that Oprah said, and the lady said, I don't think you're going to find that this way. I mean, you do better looking back, you do better going back. Oprah said, yeah, you're right. Oprah, that's why the book is not named Oprah, right? The book is named Ruth. Ruth said, no. I'm taking chances. And right now she has nothing, man. Husband dead, no prospects whatsoever, and you gotta walk across the desert. Well, I'm gonna skip to the end. Skip to the end. And I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna skip to the end. Verse 13, chapter 4. God. So Boaz took Ruth, And she became his, somewhere in there, some kind of way, a dope. When they came together, the Lord made her conceive, and she bore a son. Now I'm going to skip down to verse 17. The women of the neighborhood gave him a name, saying, a son had been born to Naomi. That's Naomi born. Naomi, the mom, the grandmom. She took the baby, became the baby's nurse. And they named the boy Obed. He became the father of Jesse. Jesse became the father of... Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have dreamed it? Sitting out there in the desert with no prospect, lost my first husband. I tell you how God works, man. This ain't no joke.
Yes, sir.
You got something inside of you, and don't let the current circumstances tell you any different. Don't let the fact that you're not at your best right now. Don't let the fact that you can't quite see what's going to happen yet. Door's going to open. A door's going to come. Be ready. A door's going to open up. That is the most, every time I read that, man, that is the most amazing thing.
All right.
Look at where she was. Could never have imagined she's going to get married, let alone have a child.
Yeah.
That child's grandson is going to be the king of Israel. And she ain't even of the same race as they are. She a colored girl, she a Chinese girl, she's a whatever, you know what I'm saying? She's a minority. She wasn't even in the lineage. She wasn't supposed to be there by human standards. But God will put you places you ain't supposed to be. You ain't supposed to be where you are. You're not supposed to have what you have. You're not supposed to drive what you drive. And yet, He brought you from a mighty long way. There were times along the way where you thought you'd never get where you are today. Look at it. Look at it. He opened doors for you, didn't He? Things have come out of you, come through you, that are just quite simply amazing. Others would have crumbled. You're still here. Others would have folded up and went on back the Oprah route. No, you saw some possibility. We got some Ruths in here. And she would never have guessed that she had a king inside of her. You got stuff inside of you and your DNA. Because that's what we're talking about, your DNA. We're not talking about exterior. We're talking about what is in the very fabric of who you are. It can't be stopped because of the God that you serve. Don't let nobody beat you down and take you down like you don't have no future and that your future depends on them. Oh, I know a God who opens doors. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.